Okay, in this situation, this is a really good tool also for, let's say you want to replace a billboard or you want to put a sign on a building or something. So in this environment here, what they did is they created this 3D model and it's got a slight move to it, as you can see. And so what we're going to do is we are going to attach um, an object to this video here, or this 3D model. We're going to take this video and put it right there. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to look at what the individual layers are. We have this mask which was created, which also moves along with the object. All right, and then we have the video, and then we have these dots. And these dots were made frame by frame along with the object moving. So if you're thinking about doing any kind of motion tracking, it's very helpful to have these dots on set. If you remember watching movies like Jurassic Park and how they did all that, there was these tennis balls that they leave on the sets in various places so that later on the effects artists can use those points to attach objects to. What we're going to do first is we're going to track these dots. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to select that layer that says stage dots, and I'm going to select track motion. And then you'll see here that there's a tool here that says track type, which we have not talked about yet. And in this one we're going to say we want a perspective corner pin. Okay, and that allows you to have these 4 track points. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to attach these 4 points to these dots. Okay, and bear with me. I'm going to get them in the vicinity and put them right on top of that object there. Do it again for this one. And we're going to do it again for this one. So at this point we're going to go to the very beginning. With that selected, we're going to then analyze forward. Okay, and we're going to make sure that the target is going to be the movie that we're going to select and say OK. All right, we can hit apply. And now let's go back to the beginning. And so now let's take a look at what's happening here. So that video is now attached to that box. So if you're thinking about putting some signage on a building, this is a great tool for doing just that. Now, you don't have to put tennis balls if you have a very rectangular shape. It's very easy to attach points to a rectangular object. This one is a little bit more complicated in that we are trying to attach this sign to where this exists. Now, if you look at this, you'll see this is handheld. So I would really emphasize, and that zoom out is going to be a problem. Okay, so I would really emphasize, if you're planning on doing any kind of sign replacement, use a tripod. You're going to make your life so much easier. That's not to say this can't be done, and it gives it a sense of reality in a way, but this tool is a little problematic for that. And when we get to Mocha, you'll see that that's a little easier for this kind of thing. That said, we're going to first practice with using the motion tracker corner pin tool and to try to apply that to this video here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this sign so I can work primarily with this. And I'm going to select this layer and I'm going to choose track motion. Like before, I'm going to use the perspective corner pin. I'm going to make sure that I've got these dots here, which are pretty convenient actually, and I'm going to move these here. While I do that, I just want to make it clear that you'll notice that I did not move the video or the sign that I'm going to be replacing with. I left it in that lower left-hand corner, and I want to not move it until it's actually necessary to be moved here. Okay, and let's see how this is looking. It looks pretty good. I'm at the very beginning here. Let's look at our options. I want to make sure I'm using luminance again. I'm going to adapt on every frame because I know there's that zoom out, and that's going to cause a little bit of trouble. But let's see what it does. All right, and then you'll notice here that the target is going to be that TIFF that we have here. And I'm going to track forward, and let's see what it does. The zoom out actually worked pretty good this time. I'm surprised. That's largely because of that adapt on every frame. That helps a good deal for that sort of thing. And let's go ahead and hit apply. Let's go ahead and turn this back on so we can see what it's doing. And let's see what it does here. Now we're going to fix this a little bit so you can see that it doesn't fit entirely perfectly there. So what I'm going to do in this situation is I'm going to go back to the beginning, and I'm going to select this layer here, and I'm going to try to make it, undo that. I want to make sure I select the right thing. Select this one, and now now that I've done that, I'm going to try to change the shape of this thing a little bit. And notice that when I did that, I just changed the scale of it. I didn't change the position. If you're going to mess with the position, all those keyframes that the tracker created are going to be impacted. Okay, so you really don't want to change the position once you've done that. So now let's take a look at it. And it kind of falls off a little bit there, so this would take a little bit more work to do it right. When we get to Mocha, you'll see that that's a better tool for this type of exercise. But for now, this is really a good way for you to get you to understand what a motion tracker does and also use a tripod.